New York City is New York City. It never totally falls apart. We went through 9/11. We've gone through World War II. But how do we as designers and design educators actually make a substantive difference? I've written about the polio posters that were in the MoMA exhibition that was curated by Mildred Constantine about protecting yourself and people around you, where design was the focus and polio was the target. We were just going into hibernation, and I got an email from Julia Knight, who's the director of the Poster House. And she suggested that we do a project where we ask designers to do posters about the coronavirus.
I was inspired by Stephen Heller's article about the use of posters during the polio epidemic. I just called him up. We thought about what can we do, and what we could do was give simple, concrete messages about public health and safety on digital screens all over the city, all 5 boroughs at all different scales.
At Times Square Arts, we present artists' work through all of the digital billboards of Times Square. And there were still hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers heading to their essential jobs every single day. So I was talking with my team about ways that we could get artists to speak to those folks. Poster House and Print Magazine had already gotten together. We brought in 4 freedoms, and we all decided to join forces. We called the project Messages for the City.
We need designers who would be able to do good work, help spread information, and to communicate messages of thanks and messages of community strength.
Seeing people risk their lives was very, very motivating. I felt the need to help people.
I've been thinking a lot about the essential workers who have been there working all along. And the work that they do is often invisible. So I wanted to create an artwork that looked like an advertisement that had been obscured with a message that says, "We see you."
A few different things were going through my mind: to keep your distance, to keep loving, and to wait. The original drawing was 3 inches by 5 inches, and it was quite extraordinary to see it in Times Square.
I thought about the 6-foot rule. I mean, what is 6 feet? So I just thought a clever idea would just be to remind people with objects we're familiar with that might give us some more immediate perception.
The Latin American community was more than 1/3 of the people being affected. So I thought of beloved products that I have grown up with. And there's the Café Bustelo can. This is the most iconic coffee for the Latin American community. And then I thought about language. So it was important to me that my posters be written in Spanish.
People were so overwhelmed by the virus that it couldn't be conceivable that there was something else overwhelming. But there was, and there is. COVID absolutely laid bare pre-existing systems of racism, prejudice, injustice.
It's almost like the COVID pandemic was a way for us to prepare for what I refer to as the second pandemic.
There's a lot less distractions going on, so we're able to participate in more meaningful ways than perhaps at any other time with Black Lives Matter. It just seems like it's bigger than ever before, and it's been super inspiring.
Now's the time to be creating. We do this in good times and we do this in bad times. And I do believe in the power of art and design to save people's lives.
As an artist, I'm looking at the visual culture around me and I am looking at what's missing. So I'm creating work to fill this space where I see absence.
They are artists because they are outside of the box thinkers and have different visions of how the world can be. And so I would love to tap their creativity to figure out what needs to happen next.
Design for me has always been about making things a little bit more clear, a little bit more human. And I think more so than ever, designers are empowered to really make big differences.
There will always be upheaval and cataclysm and protest and revolution, always. What's most important is that if you're telling your story and it has nothing to do with what's going on, but you're telling your story, it'll have a lot to do with what's going on. Just say what's in your heart.